Hi, this is Chris, Nomad Xtina, sitting inside a Toyota Highlander, four-wheel drive. Is this going to be my next rig? There is a very good chance. Although I will have to work out the logistics of how to turn this into a camping vehicle, given that I don't want to remove the seats, at least not now. Okay, let's do a quick walk around. This thing is a 2013. It has like 74,000 miles on it. One owner who clearly didn't drive it nearly as much as the average Southern California owner. Less than 9,000 miles a year. The body's in fabulous shape. It's got a roof rack. Oh, Transit Connect, don't be jealous. You're a wonderful car, but you're not working for me. Right now I'm actually sitting in the back, which I have all the back seats folded down. And I brought in my thermarest with the 1-inch foam underneath the thermarest. And it fits, but I think I do need a narrower mattress. I'm going to have to figure that out. I had to fold both seats down to fit the thermarest. And they don't fold down entirely flat, which I don't think is going to be a huge issue because I can kind of build up the bed with blankets or something. I like to narrow the bed a little bit so that this passenger seat over here can be folded straight up. And just kind of sitting at the back. Yeah, I can pretty much sit up straight. The one problem I have right now I'm trying to figure out is how I'm going to fit a toilet in here. As the mom of a 21-year-old, I'm not going to go full-time. I'm going to continue living in my parents' house, which they invited me and my daughter to live with them rent-free in their paid-off house in Southern California. It's great to have a permanent home base. Sometime I would like to be full-time, but I need a full-time rig for that, and I'm not going to be full-time in the Highlander, just like I was not full-time in the Transit Connect. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of space if you don't take the seats out, which is why I want to make a narrower bed if I buy this vehicle. So I was filming and my mom decided to come check it out, and I had her help me put the air mattress back into my Transit Connect so I can put a seat up and show you a different view. Okay, so here's a view with the back seats still down and the second row seat, one folded and one up. And then if this seat were up, one could use it upright to kind of lounge in the back. Well, that was weird. My phone camera just totally crapped out. I was like, oh my God, this is a fairly new Pixel. I restarted, rebooted, and it's fine now. So let's get back. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about using this back seat as a lounge as opposed to the front seat, which the front passenger seat could be a lounge, or I could just use that to store stuff. Like, you kind of want to keep your stinky laundry as far away from your face as possible. So it would probably go down on the footwell and keep stuff down there and just use this back area as a lounge. But the reason I don't want to take the seats out is I was reading that removing the seats can sometimes be an issue where you have to notify your insurance company because it could be considered a structural change. There's also the whole airbag issue. And it's going to be kind of nice to actually have more than one passenger seat. I can also see the advantage to taking them out at some point. Obviously, lots more storage, more foot room. And yeah, I'm talking as if this is a fait accompli, and I think it is. I mean, there are things I loved about the Transit Connect and things I hated about it. So let's talk about that. I'm going to release my Transit Connect van tour, and I don't know if I'm going to delete that. I put a lot of work into it, but I think maybe I'll just upload it because this probably won't go up for a little while. But I got that thing. It was only supposed to be for a year or two. I had a gorgeous Winnebago Travato, and I only owned it for 3 months, and someone ran a red light in Las Vegas where I was in the process of vacating, as in I lived there for 19 years, and she totaled my Travato. I wasn't seriously injured. I had injuries, but they weren't, life-threatening. It's not like I got a huge payout. I'm glad, because I don't want to be badly injured. Nobody wants to be badly injured. It was very traumatic, though. And by the time the pandemic hit, prices skyrocketed, and my job was hit. And so it was kind of a blessing in disguise that I ended up getting out from under that loan. And when it came time to replace, I couldn't afford to. So we hadn't even finished settling the insurance when I got the Transit Connect, but I promised my daughter a road trip to take her to college in Massachusetts. So I thought I'd get this, the Transit Connect, keep it for a year. And I've had it for 3.5 years. And I kept it because I didn't want to go back to work. I want to be early retired, and that thing's paid for. And I live with my parents. They don't charge rent because their house is paid off. So financially, it made sense to keep the Transit Connect. It's a very low, it's like the lowest trim cargo van. My van tour, it's not the most comfortable thing to drive. I mean, I made it work, but I just feel like it doesn't really suit my needs anymore. And this Highlander is not my ideal vehicle either. I wish I could afford a Toyota 4Runner with four-wheel drive. Those things are big and awesome. And with the recession and the pandemic and my stocks going down and everything else, I cannot justify that purchase. Justify the Highlander to myself. Getting a pretty decent, should be getting a decent trade-in value on my Transit Connect because they're kind of in high demand. And used car prices, as we all know, have skyrocketed during the pandemic too. So I'm sure this Highlander costs more than it should, but my Transit Connect is going to bring me more than it should. And I'm going to gain tons of comfort on the driver's side. And I need that. I mean, it's really hard driving a Transit Connect cargo van long distance without cruise control and without any kind of driver amenities. It's got a bare bones AM/FM radio that doesn't, hardly works. And I don't even like AM/FM radio. And the seats aren't very comfortable, and it's loud and rattly because it's a cargo van. It's a city cargo van. And they make great starter vehicles, good entry-level nomadic vehicles. It served me well for 3.5 years. I did put those upgrades in. Hopefully I can get a little bit out of them, or, hopefully they don't bring the value down in trade-in terms, but I'm not going to do a private sale. I'm just going to sell it either to AutoNation or to Ford or to CarMax, depending on which offers best. But as far as what meets my needs, I tried the Prius for the gas mileage. Oh, God, no. I mean, I applaud all you Prius dwellers and drivers. I mean, Suhan Carlson of Homes on Wheels Alliance lived in one for years. Nikki Delventhal had one for what? 3.5 years? Guys live in them all the time. If you're young and limber or just can tolerate really small spaces, God, they're fantastic. I could not do that. One of the things I really regret with the Transit Connect is the low clearance. You can't really go off-road much. I mean, the most I've done is like 3.5 miles down a really bad road near Laughlin, and that was kind of dicey. Having the high clearance is really important to me, and I cannot afford a high clearance van. They are, you get a Sprinter 4x4. God, who can afford that? I cannot. The Travato was my ideal vehicle, and a Class B would still be my ID vehicle. Even without high clearance, if I could afford it. I can no longer afford that, and I'm not willing to work my life away to afford an RV that I never have time to drive because I'm too busy working to drive or enjoy it. So the four-wheel drive SUV will help me get a little further off-road. I'm still not going to go deep backcountry. I'm not going to do that alone. But driving a quartzsite, driving down those little, dirt roads in Nevada or whatever, I'm going to just be a lot more comfortable and feel a lot safer with the four-wheel drive and the higher clearance. And yes, I will get recovery gear just in case. Oh, I almost forgot to show you this feature. There is a sunroof, moonroof thing. Okay, the sunroof opens and closes, and then you can just tilt it open for the moonroof. That's going to be pretty cool, laying back and watching the stars, or putting some bug netting up there and having it open on a hot day. I can't have a max air fan in here, but I do have the ability to ventilate it at night without people seeing rolled down windows if I can figure out how to get a bug screen up there. And feet pics, okay, I know that's kind of gross, but gee, look, it is kind of an awkward angle, but one could sit in the back seat and put one's legs up on the console. Cool. It's too bad I can't just curl up in the back and use that back area as a sleeping area, but I do like to sleep curled up, but I don't think that's going to work. Thanks for watching, and if you want to support me, please like, subscribe, and share this video, and I will see you in the next one.